Okay, welcome back. So, the main muscle of the thigh, of the front of the thigh, that flexes, moves the whole leg, is the rectus femoris, and its mass is up here at the top, and it's one of the reasons why the thigh looks so thick and large from that angle. But right beside it and slightly underneath it are the two vastus muscles. This is the vastus medialis. That's spelled Medialis. And then the vastus lateralis, not with an I at the end. And then there's this tendon, the band of Richter, or Richer, or Richer really, because I think it's French, which wraps around all three of those muscles, and it is the main reason why the vastus medialis looks, you know how like with soccer players, you'll often see like a real kind of like large amount of muscle kind of overlapping the kneecap, overlapping the patella, right? And it's because of the way this band is pressing on the vastus medialis that we have that particular look. But there is also a little bit of a counterbalance of like how the vastus lateralis is massed up and then the vastus medialis is massed below. And once again, that's that same structure that we see throughout anatomy that helps provide that kind of counterbalance and the ability for all the muscles to move in multiple directions. Okay, anyway, the adductor group, I'm not going to cover all of them, but this one right here on the side, right there, is the gracilis. And then this one right here is the Adductor Magnus, I'm pretty sure. Longus, that's the Adductor Longus. Adductor Longus. Okay, so on the back of the thigh, we have three different muscles that create kind of a grouping that looks like four different masses. I'll talk about why a grouping of three different muscles creates four different masses, and we call all four of those masses, we call that the Quadriceps Group. And for you guys on the test, that is all you need to know, is the Quadriceps Group. But for extra credit, you will be able to identify the different parts of the Quadriceps Group. So this is the biceps femoris, this is the semitendinosus, and then the semimembranosus. Let me just double check to make sure I got that completely right. Yes, I did. So, biceps femoris. Then this one, I'm going to go over in this direction. This one right here, this is a hard word, semitendon. I'm going to drop it down. Osus. How do you spell that? I think I'm right. Semitendinosus. And then this one right here, which is here and there, right? That is the semimembranosus. And let me look at my notes. Branosus. Okay. Right there. Okay, and which is also there. We can also see a little bit of the adductor group here. This right there is the gracilis, right? This muscle is running along right here. Is also the gracilis right there. And then that muscle right there, that's kind of hidden from the front side, we wouldn't see it. That muscle right there is the Adductor Magnus. ADD-MAG, but Adductor Magnus. Okay. And then from this side, we can still see some of the same muscles. We can see this is right here is the vastus medialis. This muscle that we're just seeing a little bit tip of right there, that's the, keep flipping those, that's the rectus femoris. And then on this side, we can see a little bit of the biceps femoris. Right there is also the Vastus Medialis. So this is also the biceps femoris right there. And I think we can see a little bit, I don't know what that will be. Will we be able to see a little bit of the, no, that's also part of the biceps femoris. Okay, so that covers the thigh, and let's get to, so the main things that you have to know for the lower leg is in the front, you need to know this muscle right here. And in the back, you need to know this muscle right here, which we have talked about a number of times. This muscle is a gastrocnemius. As we can see right there, it's the same view. This muscle right here is the tibialis. But there are some other muscles of the lower leg, and they, to a large degree, contribute to how much we can see, how much the gastrocnemius kind of pushes out, right? There are muscles that are underneath here. So right there and there, we could see the soleus. And let's see here. We'll start with, and the peroneus. Why don't we start with this angle? All right, so from this angle right here, this is the tibialis. And one of the things you can see about the tibialis right there, it kind of emphasizes how much the tibialis, as much as it is an extensor, no, in this case, yeah, flexor, right? And that it's pulling the foot back up, right? It also helps with rotation because look at the way it kind of wraps from one side of the leg to the other. So there's the tibialis. This would be the peroneus. Right? And where would the soleus be? Not sure you can see it from that angle. Like we can see the soleus here. Soleus. And then from the back side, you can see the soleus on this side. Yeah, on both sides right there. Soleus and the soleus right there. So the peroneus is more deep, right? And then the soleus over that, and then the gastrocnemius over that. And obviously the gastrocnemius connects to a large tendon that goes all the way down to the heel. Okay, so the things that you need to know for the test. We pretty much know all the bony landmarks that we need to know, with the exception of one. Right? We already know the patella. We already know the Grich canter. We know the iliac crest and acis. The one new bony landmark is that there's a bump right here below the knee, right about there, right? And that's called the tuberosity of the tibia.
We're at 9 minutes.
Okay. Let's just, I'm going to review what muscles we need to know, and I think that'll take us to the end. So for the test, you need to know the two gluteus, maximus and medius. You need to know the tensor fasciae latae. You need to know the large muscles of the upper thigh, so that's rectus femoris, the vastus lateralis, vastus medialis. On the back of the thigh, you just need to know, for this whole group, the quadriceps group. I'll write that. Quadriceps group. But that includes the biceps femoris, semitendinosus, and the semimembranosus. Of the adductor group, you need to know the gracilis and maybe the adductor longus. The adductor magnus might be extra credit. Identifying the semitendinosus or the semimembranosus might be extra credit. On the calf, you need to know the tibialis and the gastrocnemius, and that's about it. Everything else, the peroneus and the soleus, would be extra credit. Okay, thank you very much.